Prologue. My mom always told me that I was a sad little girl. You were just born that way, she'd say. But I actually don't believe that's true. I was introduced to the weight of the world much too early on in this life. I think being abandoned by my father and growing up in a household that was abusive and scary and awful may have loaned me those sad eyes. Even if I hadn't admitted it to myself, my sad eyes had been revealing the true me all along. Looking back, I guess I've faked it until I made it my whole life. When you've been through the kinds of things I've been through, you have to get good at hiding behind a persona. And my Christina Applegate persona was successful, especially in shielding me from having to face the past. That was then. But now, I embrace my sad eyes. I've earned them. In my public life, I've played the character Christina Applegate for so long, since I was a very young child. The comic actor, the serious actor, the all-singing, all-dancing, ultimate performer, the good talk show interview, I was all those things. I even wrote a paper in school professing myself a triple threat and saying I wanted to be Meryl Streep. Well, that person is unrecognizable to me now. I am not Christina Applegate. Recently, I noticed that a dear friend of mine had me listed as Christina Applegate in her phone. I said, take that out. And don't ever call me by those two names together. It took her a moment, but she understood. Anyone who truly knows me knows I am not Christina Applegate. I was never, ever that person. So whenever I hear Christina Applegate, I get spine tingles, and it's not in a good way. Those two words together do not denote the secret place, the center of my soul, the real me. Instead, there's one nickname I save for my true essence. Usually I don't want the world to see who I really am, so I've kept it secret. But when those closest to me use my nickname, just two short syllables, I feel they know me in the deepest and most beautiful way. I promise by the end of this book, you'll know those two syllables too, and not just in name. I'll finally reveal every reason for those sad eyes. We'll describe the full spectrum of a life seen through them, the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, the everything. It's not a process I'm looking forward to, being that vulnerable, but I want to reveal who I am fully for the first time. Maybe I don't even know who that is, but hey, I have nothing left to lose. In 2021, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. MS attacks your nervous system and slows down your functions, your respiratory system, your organs, everything. The disease eats away at all the things we take for granted. Some of us with MS have a raft of pain, some don't. I have a lot of it. When I wake up, I often can't get my arm to move far enough to grab the cup of water by my bed or my phone from its charger. I have infusions every 6 months to slow the disease's progress, but those infusions kill all the B cells in my body, making me prone to infection. My stomach frequently slows to a halt, leaving me to regularly rush to the emergency room in agony. Most days, simply walking across the room feels like scaling a mountain. One of the worst side effects of the illness is the exhaustion. It feels as though I've been on a 3-day-long sleepless bender, but no bender for me. That's how I feel after a good night's sleep. Hence all the time I spend on and in my bed snuggled up against Jake Ryan, which is what I call my heating pad. A side note that if you were born in the 70s, as I was, 16 Candles was the shit. In the last moment of the movie, Jake Ryan, wearing bad jeans in front of a red Porsche, looks at Sam Baker, played by Molly Ringwald, and says, "Yeah, you." If you don't know what that means, stop listening to this audiobook right now and go watch the movie. It is much more uplifting. As you may be catching on the back of that diagnosis and the symptoms I face, I no longer care what I say or how I come across or how it makes anyone feel. I don't have patience for bullshit anymore. I have no patience for things that are meaningless or merely extra. Add to that, I don't have room for inauthenticity or hidden meanings. There's no longer subtext when I speak. Everything I say is true and unadorned and real.